Switching beers, switching gears. In our hands, we have the Terrapin Hi I.P.A. It is a tasty brew. We've never had this. It's clocking in at 5.9% ABV, and it's in a little canny can. So we're gonna pop the cap on this right now. See how that just rattles off like that? You know,
if you say so.
You got to do it like that.
If that's what you call rattling off, I heard a lot of stumbling, but I wasn't going to say anything.
That's because I wanted you to shut up.
Yeah.
Wait, let's high five for this one. High five.
This thing stinks.
What?
I thought you just turned into an 80s kid, and that's just you saying it sucks.
It stinks.
This stinks. This beer eats my shorts.
This beer stinks.
This beer sucks on ice.
All right, first thing for me, it's very drinkable.
This shit is tasty.
Yeah, it's light though. Tastes light to me.
You taste
in a
light.
good way. In a good way. Settle down, buddy.
Stop it. You behave.
But yeah, very drinkable on my end.
Did you drink it?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I thought you just smelled it.
No, I ain't.
This stinks. I'm over it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Good description.
I'm not, I mean, I've never been a huge fan of IPAs, so they have to be, like, fucking really good for me to, like, be into it. It's pretty good.
Well, there's not too much heat coming out of Athens, Georgia lately, so, step it up, Terrapin. Like your Hopsecutioner.
Yeah.
This is delicious, but, this ain't no Hopsecutioner.
Yeah.
I'm going 3 again.
I'll go with the 3.
3 sounds good.
Yeah, jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah,
Why
3
not?
sounds good.
Follower. Fucking sheep.
1. I'm going to give it a 1.
All right, switching gears, switching beers, switching topics.
Anyway, so downloaded Rogue Legacy. I love that game so much.
That's gonna be fun.
Specifically on the Vita, though. You've had it on PC for a while.
I had it. Yeah, it came out on PC for a while, and I beat it. Or I didn't beat it. Fuck, like hell. I beat it. I played it.
Yeah, like stupid.
Like hell, I beat it. You sound like those little portraits that die when you kill them. Yeah, I had it on PC for a while.
Things.
Yeah, I like when you one hit them and they still laugh.
Right? Like, whatever.
Anyway, yeah, I had it on PC for a while, but then it came out on Vita, and it's just so much better on a little screen in my hands.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it really is. Like,
Yep.
That's why I already got further than you, and you've had it longer than me. You know. Anyway, that's besides the point, Marco. You being bad at games and all, but we're talking about Rogue Legacy. We want to talk about procedurally generated games.
Yes.
Do you think this is the way like games should be going? There's a big game coming out later on. It's called No Man's Sky.
Right.
Have you heard about it? Basically, the whole point of it is exploration, and you're going to be able to fly into a planet without any load times, land, explore a planet-sized level with no load times, and pretty much just like the way that the developers made it was that somebody found the limit that you would be able to explore.
Right.
And then the developers went, well, we don't want that. Now we expanded the possibilities even more, so now nobody is ever going to be able to explore the entire game.
Yeah, I heard something crazy, like it would take years and years and years to see everything.
Yeah, I think it was on IGN Fix that someone was like, yeah, if you spent like 1,000 years on each planet for a second, you could finally learn all, or you could finally explore all of them.
Yeah.
And then they said developers did it, so it would take like 1 billion years or some crap like that.
How could they
impossible.
make the game so big?
All they have to do is, because it's procedurally generated, there's not like a map of a city that's being loaded. It's being created as you go. Okay, so like you land on a planet, that planet that you landed on, all you have of it that's loaded is what you can see. And as you move, that planet
creates itself.
Yeah, it creates itself.
So it's like Inception. It
Yes.
tricks you into thinking that it's larger than it actually is.
Right. Without seeing it happen, you know.
Right. That's the same thing.
It's all part of the effect.
Right,
you
and
know?
it's not like completely randomly generated. Like the way that developers made it is actually really interesting. That you know, like caves are going to be where like a cave could normally be. Trees are going to be where trees can be. So you're not going to see a tree in a cave or a tree underwater. Right, there's rules to how it's going to be.
Tree in a cave.
Right, I mean,
Okay.
you can't have a tree in a cave. You ever seen a tree in a cave?
I haven't been to other planets, so
Yeah, that's true.
So don't talk then. I'm clearly not addressing this question to you, Adam.
not an astronaut. Not an astronaut.
But yeah, I mean, I just want to know what you guys think of games like that. Like, what game would you like to have seen procedurally generated? I mean, like another game that's coming out is The Crew.
Right.
And you're going to be able to drive from literally California, Los Angeles, California, to New York, New York, Manhattan,
right.
whatever. You're going to be able to drive that distance.
Yeah. I mean, it's not literally that,
Right, I mean, obviously.
brick for brick. It's not literally the same. So there's that. But yeah, I mean, games are getting bigger just naturally. The only problem I have with procedurally generated stuff is that I tend to like a well-crafted, like, point A to point B type of game too, Like, I'm a sucker for stories, so even though procedurally generated games sort of make stories within themselves, you create your own story basically.
Well, with Rogue Legacy, they have those books, and those books kind of unfold a story for you.
Right.
And you have your mission that you're supposed to, go to each section of the castle, kill the 4 bosses, and then have a final boss fight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your storyline.
Right.
But as you progress, you find those books of your lineage behind you, who was in the castle before you.
Right.
So I mean, that's a procedurally generated game, but it also has a storyline too.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I was going to say for me, what game I would like to see, at least game style I'd like to see procedurally generated is maybe like almost a Call of Duty type game, where it's like a war game that the further you travel, like stuff just generates. It's not like it's basically the anti-Call of Duty, where Call of Duty is clearly, you're in a corridor, you go from here to here, and you kill these guys.
Right.
These guys spawn here, and you kill them all, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's another game on the Vita, you might have seen it. It's called Counterspy.
Yes.
Have you seen
saw
that?
Yeah.
That's a procedurally generated stealth game.
I didn't know that.
Yes, it's very much 2D, but when you engage enemies, it becomes 3D. Like there's a third dimension added in for you to engage the enemies and everything.
Yeah, it looks pretty neat. Specifically, like, the art style of it looks really cool. It's like that Archer almost style of, like, 60s espionage.
Yes.
Almost cel-shaded, but not quite,
I saw the IGN review, and I liked what I saw.
Yeah.
Like, I want to buy it, but not really.
No.
It's not interesting me. It's not interesting me that much.
Right.
What'd they give it?
7.5?
Something like that.
That's a good game.
That's a good game.
It's not
yeah.
a great game.
It's cheap now, too, on PS Plus,
I
too.
don't buy it.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. It's like
I
$10 or
I just
something.
checked it yesterday.
How much was it?
Not $10. It was 15.
It was on sale a while ago if you pre-ordered it.
Right.
That's when I pre-ordered Rogue Legacy.
Yep.
Counterspy didn't. I mean, it looked pretty cool, but it just looked too expensive. Like, I had already played Rogue Legacy, so I knew what I was going into buying that. So that's why I bought it, just like fucking off rip. But
Right.
Counterspy was not. I needed to see more. So if like one of you guys get it, maybe I'll get it after that. I'm not spending more than $12 on it.
Okay.
So if it's cheaper than that, then I might get it.
But back to David's question, what do you think of that procedurally generated type game, and what game type at least would you like to see?
Honestly, space exploration was the first thing that came to my head when it came to procedurally generated games.
Yeah.
That makes the most sense to me.
Right.
Because, I mean, anything else...
Because procedure generated is just like the unknown, and when you think of the unknown,
Exactly.
you just think space.
You think of space.
Anything could be out there.
Or maybe deep sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what could you do with that?
Deep sea?
Deep sea exploration,
Shipwrecks,
shipwrecks.
Yeah.
undersea aliens or something weird.
Yeah, that is the last frontier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as far as Earth is concerned.
Yeah. You could find species that haven't been discovered yet. Maybe
Yeah.
like a clam shark.
And kill it.
A clam shark.
Yeah.
And it works with the way that games are being made now, the emphasis on being as different as possible when it comes to the point of the game and the gameplay and everything.
My thing is I want a game with a lot of replayability. Like, the reason I didn't put Rogue Legacy down for so long was because it was just, you beat it, or not you beat it, you play it, you die, and then you try and see how much further you can get and how much further you can get, and it's always different.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's inherent in a procedurally generated game, is hopefully the the replay value because you don't see the same thing twice.
Right.
Hopefully.
And like what really separates it is just everything is different. Like you don't even get the same character to play as.
Right.
You don't even get the same castle to play as. You get, you have your, and you don't even get to keep the money that you make in your last run.
It forces you to play differently, and
Yeah,
which is what I like about it.
It forces you to buy whenever you can afford something.
Yeah.
Because I got to a point where it's just like I can't buy what I want, but I can have this instead. But if I don't, then I would just waste my money.
Yep.
So I was just buying like upgrades.
You might as well.
Yeah, I had to. Like,
Why not?
I didn't have a choice.
Not so much procedurally generated as far as like the entire landscape is concerned, but games like Left 4 Dead, where where each enemy isn't the same. You go through the game and each zombie is in a different area, things happen. They just happen. Like if you stand still too long, all of a sudden you get a horde of zombies coming at you. Stuff like that, I think, needs to be done more in games because, like,
making it unpredictable.
Right, like The Last of Us, for instance. Like if you died enough, you kind of got the pattern of each zombie.
Yeah, I mean that's how I was thinking of. Like I was thinking of Wolfenstein.
Right.
Like because we played it on Uber and like levels were hard, but we would figure out like, all right, well I can kill this enemy like that, and then link it to this enemy kill, and then you think of a pattern.
It's almost like old school gaming that way.
Right.
You get a pattern down and you can beat it.
There's fun in that. In getting the pattern and then like stringing moves together and getting like a combo going.
There's sort of like all right, there's like pattern gaming, like you can get really good at kind of thing, and then there's like showcasing like actual skill, like unpredictable enemies coming out.
Right.
Yeah, like being adaptable on the fly.
Right.
Just beating a level without knowing what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and we're seeing that in game development too, where these games that were normally, point A to point B shooter types or stealth games are being more open world. You're seeing that in Metal Gear right now. With that open world ability of it. Maybe the enemies will be in the same sort of general areas, but it changes on shifts and times, and you won't see you won't beat the game the same way twice. You know what I mean? Like you can do it different ways, and you have more options available to you, which adds that replayability that we all want in games nowadays.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of ways. Like Mass Effect did the storyline where you could be Paragon or Renegade, and even small decisions, or not even small decisions, your final decisions at the end of the game drastically change the beginning of the next game.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. It's a good time to be.
That's the way that games should be made. They should, AI should be smarter. It should think on the fly because gamers are getting smarter. Narratives are getting more intelligent. Like stories aren't simply like get the princess anymore. Like they're complex stories, very psychological stories that the gameplay should reflect how smart the games are being.
Right. It's getting more mature, in more ways than just the narrative and in the story. It's getting more mature in the gameplay itself and how we play games, how we experience games, and how we ultimately beat games.
Right.
It's more of a mature experience.